Check me out, I'm gonna roll a fever. Yo, that girl right there is a dime. My man, can you spot me a dub? I was on the highway doing a buck. I made a rack today. Sonny, what the hell are you saying? Every sentence that I said there had a slang word that referred to a number. So yes, slang words referring to numbers. You gotta admit it, American slang words are the best. It just gives you that confidence. You speak with that confidence, right? But unfortunately, with PTE, we can't speak like that. We can't use slang in our speaking. So we gotta go back to speaking properly, proper English. So let's take a look at how we say numbers properly. In the PT speaking module, several tasks will require you to say numbers, from the read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, to the retail lecture. You are bound to be required to say numbers. And from my experience, numbers give people trouble. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the differences in pronunciation between tens and teens. What is the syllable stress in these numbers? Let's go. Now, when dealing with pronunciation, we know that with words that have more than one syllable, there can only be one syllable stress. So with numbers, with teens and tens, there's more than one syllable. So where are we going to place that syllable stress? Let's start off with 13 and 30 as the examples. 13 is the teens number and 30 is the tens number. When you have a teens number, the syllable stress is on the teen, the second syllable. So for example, 13, second syllable. When you're dealing with the tens number, the syllable stress is in the beginning, first syllable. So for example, 30. So clearly the syllable stress between the two numbers are not in the same place. So when you read the numbers, you have to be careful and put the syllable stress in the right place. Now I want to point out something extra related to the tens. For example, the number 30, the one that I've been using for an example. It's the TY sound at the end, which should sound like 30. But if you hear native English speakers pronounce that number, you don't actually hear the TY sound. What you will actually hear is a DY sound, which is 30. That's the same sound when you make your clothes dirty, like dirty. So it's a DY sound and not the TY sound. And that applies to most of the tens numbers. And when I say most, I'll give you the example later. So let's practice that by saying out the numbers and see if you can hear the difference in the syllable stress. We'll start from 13 and 30. All right, so 13, 30, 13, 30. Were you able to hear the syllable stress on the teen? 13 and 30, first syllable. All right, let's keep going. 14, 40, 14, 40, 15, 50, 15, 50, 16, 60, 16, 60, 17, 70, 17, 70, 18, 80, 18, 80, 19, 90, 19, 90. So there you have it with the pronunciation of teens and tens. I hope you were able to hear the difference in the pronunciation on where the syllable stress was placed. Now, I didn't talk about 20. Why? Let me take a look at 20 now and show you why I didn't talk about it first. Obviously, 12 is not a teen number, so there's no similarity between 12 and 20. So however you learn how to pronounce 12, that is the proper way. Now with 20, this is a little bit different. Now I said for the TY sounds at the end of the tens numbers will be pronounced as DY, like D. However, for 20, we don't do that. You don't change the TY sound of 20 to 20. That would sound really strange. So don't read it as 20. Okay, there's no DY sound. I'm over exaggerating with the DY right now, but no matter what, even softly, you wouldn't say 20. Okay, it would be 20. Now, however, if you're in America, sometimes you hear people say 20. But anyways, that's neither here or there. So don't worry about that. Just make sure 20 has the TY sound and then 12 is just 12. All right? Is that all? That was easy, right? Wrong. We're not finished yet. There's one more thing. Now, what do? Do we pronounce the numbers the same way if we put the numbers in front of a noun? When we use the numbers as an adjective, when we use the teens or tens as an adjective and put it in front of a noun, do we pronounce it the same way? Because you know that is bound to happen in the PTE, especially when you deal with describe image and things like that, right? The answer is no, we don't pronounce it the same way. That's the little tricky part that I'm talking about. Now we know that when we're looking at words with more than one syllable, there should be only one syllable stress, right? But when we're dealing with numbers, especially with the teens, there's an exception to the rule. When you use the numbers, teens, as an adjective, it's going to be equal stress. Both syllables will be stressed. For example, when I say 13, 13, but if I put a people afterwards and use 13 as the adjective, we're going to say 13, 13, 13 people. Both syllables will be stressed. When you deal with the tens, not so much. You won't really hear the difference. It's still going to be 30 people, 30 people. But when you have the teens number, equal opportunity. This is one of the rare occasions where we will actually stress two syllables in the word, dealing with the teens numbers. I hope that made sense for you. And now we're finished. So numbers are tricky. You can't get away from it. So maybe that's why PTE puts it everywhere for you. Practice that, and hopefully next time you do the read aloud, the repeat sentence, the describe image, the retell lecture, it's not going to faze you. You're going to handle it like a champ. I hope this tutorial was helpful. My name is Sunny and this is Sunny English. Please don't forget to check out my other tutorials and drop me a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.